Okay, so what is the difference between NBN, this is an NBN connection right here, which is National Broadband Network, between an FTTP and FTTN and also FTTH. I'm going to show you all those different connections. What I've got here is FTTP, that is fibre to the premises. So you can get your internet signal coming to you through optical fibre. That's what NBN is all about. And the difference in the FTTP and the FTTN is where that fibre ends and switches over to a copper connection. This house here, as you can see, the optical light flashing here, that means that it's actually got something coming in through an optical feed. This little line on the bottom here, which is this little coil of wire here, goes on to this connection box right there, and underneath here you can actually see that blue wire going around there is the optical fibre. A tiny, the size of my finger to the size of that wire, is the optical fibre coming in from the node. So whether you've got FTTP, which is fibre to the premises, or whether you've got FTTN, fibre to the node, both those connections will have optical fibre running to a local node, and then from the node, this here is FTTP, fibre to the premises. You then have optical fibre, that's that blue line, running also in to the premises through an optical fibre cable here, which connects into the modem there through optical fibre. It then, at the modem point right here, goes to copper instead of back out at the node. So here, these connections, this is just a normal Cat3 connection which runs through to a plug directly below it right there, which then is into the house system, and I've got the wireless modem plugged in a central position in the house to best position it. So there it is, FTTP, fibre to the premises, and FTTN, fibre to the node. Now the big deal about the node is like a connection box. The big deal about that, it only makes a really big difference if you're a bit of a distance away from the node, and this is where all of the controversy is how far away you're actually going to be from the fibre optic connection so that you can get really, really good speed. If you're more than, I've been reading up a bit on this, and some people say if you're more than 200 meters from the connection point, then you're going to start to notice it. Others say more than 400 meters that you're going to start to notice it, because optical fibre, the signal travels at the speed of light in through that little cable there, so there's pretty limitless in speed reduction so far as the optical fibre connection is concerned. But when you go to the copper, like this little short distance I've got just with the cables there, is really minimal. But if you're talking about travelling 400 meters, you do actually get a signal speed loss over that length. The same with ADSL, the speed you're going to get is really dependent on the distance you are from the closest connection point. So FTTH, I'll show you another picture and show you what that is, but basically that's it. The big thing I want to say about FTTP, fibre to the premises, and fibre to the node, if you're going to pay for a smaller connection like a 25 megabits download, 1 megabits upload, or even a 50/5, you're not going to notice really the difference between the FTTP and the FTTN. It's only if you're going to go for the top tier speed, the 100/40 or something like that, that the FTTN is going to struggle. From what I've heard, and people who've got that connection is going to struggle to supply that speed, whereas this guy here, I had this when it was first connected at 100/40 and it delivered those speeds without any issue at all. So if you're lucky enough to have FTTP, fibre to the premises, which is not a lot of people, and I think most, if not all, new connections are going to be FTTN, fibre to the node, then you're just going to, if you do go for the top tier speed, then the NBN being able to actually reliably and consistently supply that speed is going to be an interesting little thing. It does then come back down to the supplier. Some suppliers, each of the different NBN suppliers do actually have different allocations of space and speed that they can send out. So that is something which changes from supplier to supplier. So that's the one I'll be recommending, local Facebook group. for your local area, get on there and say, hey, what's the best supplier for actually getting good speed? Is the best source of local information to find out who's getting a good run, who's actually getting their speeds, and who's not getting a good run. Have a look. I'll put a link up just here to my video about how to check the speed and check what's going on with your NBN or your ADSL or any connection at all. Yeah, I'll also switch now and show you about the FTTH. So here's an image. This is from the NBN Co website that just shows what the FTP equipment's supposed to look like. You can see the power pack is exactly the same as mine. The connection base or the modem of mine is a little bit different. So that's officially what it is and what it's supposed to look like. And here, again off the NBN Co website, is the official interpretations of FTTP at the start there, fibre to the premises, FTTN, fibre to the node. You can read all the full descriptions there, and FTTB is actually fibre to the building. So that's like an apartment block or an office building or something like that, where they bring fibre to the building, and then the connections within the building will be something different. And then NBN hybrid fibre coaxial, that's when you've got a situation where you've got like an Optus cable or some Foxtel cable or something coming to your house, and they're able to supply the NBN over someone else's optical fibre cable. So that'll give you good optical fibre connection, but not using an NBN FTTP, but actually using someone else's optical fibre. So there you go. If you've got any questions, stick them down in the comments section, and if I can look up an answer for you, or if I know the answer, I'll make sure I get that answer to you.